Hello, Origin. As you know, this week we are talking about John chapter 3, and I just wanted to share some thoughts that I've been thinking about in this passage. We find that Nicodemus is a religious leader, and he knows all these different things about Jesus, and he recognizes that Jesus has come from God because no one can do these miraculous things that Jesus is doing. And he comes to him with questions about the kingdom of God and about this message that Jesus is preaching about someone having to be born again in order to see the kingdom of God. In fact, Jesus even says in verse 5 that truly I say to you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. I was reflecting on my own life journey with Jesus that started when I was about 14 years old. Up until that point, I just had head knowledge of who Jesus was. I've heard all these stories about Jesus. I was reading the Bible. I was hearing Jesus change people's lives, but it wasn't really personal. Like, I didn't really see it well. I have really bad eyesight, so I have to wear these beautiful things that actually help me to see details that I didn't notice before. I remember the first time I got glasses and I just looked at this tree and it just looked like this big green blob. I couldn't really see anything of it until I put my glasses on, and then I could see the individual details of every single leaf on the tree. And I was shocked. It was like I saw things from a whole different perspective. That's exactly what happened when I made the decision to follow Jesus and ask him to fill me with his Spirit to help me to understand his word better. That's exactly what Jesus is talking about in this passage with Nicodemus. The flesh gives birth to flesh, but the Spirit gives birth to the Spirit. So God's Spirit is the one who helps me to see things in greater detail. It's amazing how he uses his Spirit to draw us closer to himself. So if you're feeling very confused, or there's things that are not making sense, or you're having trouble understanding what you're reading, ask him to help you. Ask him to fill you with his Spirit so that he can show you those individual details that you might otherwise been missing. Blessings.